時があんたに渡してって。
やらなければいけないんだ。俺がこの世界に生きる人間として。サイヤ人に限界などない。あっ、フルパワーだ。
All right, everybody, we are hopping into another video here in the Trunks World Tour. So here we go, we got Trunks. Now, I could not find a friend Trunks to actually bring in this run, so we actually are on part of his leader skill, and we did have to bring a friend Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta. The good news is that like everybody is on both leader skills, and Trunks is on the 200%, so that's, you know, all we really need here. Let's go ahead and put him in slot 2. Looks like we can get him a good chunk of physical orbs. Let's go ahead and grab these int orbs for them. We can grab the physical orbs. Perfect, actually. Wow, this opened up really, like, perfectly. So let's go ahead and grab those for Trunks. And then let's go ahead and grab the tech orbs for Vegito Blue. So Trunks here is at 223k defense. He builds up, so he gets a 30% stack on his 18 key. He builds up 10% with each attack performed in his passive up to 50%, and then with each super attack he does on a turn, he gets a temporary 10% damage reduction up to 30%, so we want him to triple super here. Now, we do not know where Cell is super attacking. Best case scenario, Cell super attacks us in slot 1, and we dodge it with Blue, Goku, and Vegeta, but that is, you know, never guaranteed with this guy. He very easily could be supering Trunks here, which, for showcase purposes, would be pretty good. I am taking a small risk here, and that I decided to jump into the Trunks showcase first here. Normally, whenever I do these showcases like this, since we have limited attempts right now, and I need to do multiple showcases in the stage, I kind of start out with, like, the strongest character, and then I work my way to the weakest. Okay, this is good. Go ahead and dodge this, boys. Thank you, very good. You know, so I work my way to the weaker characters. That way, I have more attempts for them. So, you know, in theory, the stronger characters, they get it done in one try. Then I hop in here with the weaker characters, and we can use more attempts for them. Okay, so that's bad. That had a 70% chance to be a super attack. That's good. That's another one in his passive. That has a 50% chance to be a super attack for being in slot 2 or 3. 2 in this instance, and then that's the hidden potential. Okay, so that's good. So he does have his full 30% damage reduction. We are going to be facing a normal from Cell here, post super attack, and we tanked it for double digits. Okay, that's good. That is, you know, I'll take that. That's obviously very good, so we love to see that. Now, Cell, he has like a pretty long cooldown. I think it's like 6 attacks or 7. I don't remember exactly offhand how many cooldown it is, or like how long his cooldown is, but he shouldn't be super attacking us immediately on this turn, so that's good.
敵を宇宙最強お前が誇り高きサイヤ人の血を引く者ならば俺の息子ならば誰にも負けることは許さん俺超えてみせます目の前の敵もトンさんも
Okay, we got a pretty good rotation here. This is actually solid is what this is. Okay, so we can throw Mai in slot 3. Mai, after attacking an enemy, does have a 70% chance to dodge, so we should be fine here. Let's go ahead and grab the STR orbs there with Vegeta and Trunks. We can grab all of these AGL for them. It's not really going to do anything for us other than just, like, charge up the Dokkan meter. And then we just want to grab, like, some orbs with Mai. I don't think we'll actually get to launch a Dokkan attack in this fight, and we were already at full health, so it doesn't really matter that we got the AGL orbs, but I guess it gives them a full key, and it, I don't know, it just, the typings match, so it makes my brain, like, the chemicals in my brain go colors matchy, and that's good, so it makes my brain feel good. I don't know about you guys, but I you know, it's like I see color, I match color, and that's good. You know, we get that nice chemical rush. Anyway, no, but I was going to talk about something before we went into the thing there. Cell has a long cooldown. Probably not going to see a super attack at the beginning. That's good because we can get Vegeta and Trunks built up, and then here we are. So, luckily, I wish we could have had a second Trunks here. That way we could be looking at him right here in the second slot, as opposed to another Blue Goku and Vegeta, but, I mean, it's fine. Honestly, I don't know if I want to be running double Trunks. I don't know if that's something I want to do. He is growing on me. I will say that. As of recording this video, I've done his 55% showcase where I was not impressed. This guy at 55%, I was like, Whereas with Gohan, I was like, oh my god, whenever I rainbow this guy, he's gonna be insane. But for Trunks, I was like, I'm glad you gave me him in 1,000 stones. Thank you, Dokkan. Okay, there we go. That's, you know, UI Mai on the team. She doesn't eat those. That's also good for us. Now, I brought this guy. All right, we had a little discussion about this guy in my comments earlier today. I'm not very impressed by him. And I think he has a big issue of sharing the same name with this guy. And I think it takes way too long for him to be good defensively. You know, I was told that, you know, this guy in these new events is competing defensively with, you know, some of the best units in the game right now. Because, you know, they all take damage. And his damage is on par with theirs. And I'm sitting here looking at him with 156k defense going, listen, these fights are over in like 4 turns. And this guy is not good on turn 1. These current fights really require you to have units that are ready to go immediately. This Trunks is not ready to go immediately. So we will see. Now, if we're going to get supered here, it's going to be in slot 3, right? So I kind of want to put Trunks in slot 1. He will take damage. This is, well, maybe he won't. He's at 400k defense here. I mean, that's pretty good. But he might take damage here. You don't ever want to put Trunks in slot 1 unless he is in his standby mode. That is the only time you want to put Trunks in slot 1. But because I want to have prepared for battle activated with this guy for the tiny bit of extra defense it gives us, and I also don't want to do like this, or this, or this. Oh, no, I do want to do this, but I don't want to do like this, or this, or this. We're going to do this. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab the STR orbs with Trunks. Again, you don't want to ever put this physical Trunks in slot 1 unless you absolutely have to. But he's at 400k defense here. We're going to do it. This is not what you want to do. I brought this guy. We ended up with both of them on the same rotation here. I don't want to say I'm forced to do this, but I want that tiny bit, like that 5% of extra defense that he's getting from prepared for battle could end up being the difference between life and death here if at the end of the turn is a super attack. Now, I did build this guy full dodge. Again, I was told that, you know, if you build him like additional, you get a marginal increase in his, you know, extra 10% damage reduction. I'm hating on this guy too much. I'm sorry. Let's just go ahead and get with the Trunks. You guys don't care about this guy, okay? Most of you. Some of you might care about this guy. I think he's decent. I do think Int Zamasu is better. And I don't think they gave him enough. I think it's, oof, that was pretty hard. But again, don't look too much into that. Trunks is a slot 2 character. I put him in slot 1. We knew he was going to take damage there. But that STR Trunks, you know, it's like, you have to super attack, or no, is it just attack? It's you have to attack 6 times with him in order to build up his extra 10% damage reduction. That's just, to me, that's not a good enough reward. Like, if you built up an extra 20% or 30% damage reduction, then I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, that's fine, because then it's like, okay, so for these short fights, maybe he's not super great, but you take him into a long fight, and he's going to turn into a defensive wall, like Android 8, you know, essentially. Like, Android 8, 5 turns, he becomes a wall. I could see, you know, it's like, okay, this Trunks kind of has the same role as him. Okay, I get it. Then I see the vision. I'm like, okay, this guy right now, I'm like, is he, like he's kind of meant for longer fights, but I don't know how he's actually going to do in longer fights because he doesn't get that much of an increase. And in these shorter fights, he's not going to hit his stride until about turn 3, post-super attack, which can be okay. Yeah, look, 100k on a normal there is not good. Oh, I can keep talking, right? Vegeta Blue doesn't have voice acting. Okay, but yeah, no, 100k is not what we want to see from that Trunks there. I don't know. Listen, I'm probably being too hard on him, but like, guys, come on. Like, do we really need to cope over characters with 150k defense on turn 1? Do we? Like, whenever we have other characters that are good, I don't know. Should I use the active skill? Probably. He didn't super last turn. Let's go ahead and pop it. I'm just going to turn the skips on, and we can just pop it here. Just get the extra defense buff. Hi. Thanks, Trunks. Now, what do we want to do here? Because I would like to get those Int orbs with Vegeta and Trunks. So I think we'll do this. That'll give them more defense in slot 1 anyway, and, you know, the dodge chance, everything like that. So let's grab those. That'll give us some decent healing. Vegeta and Trunks will be slightly worse defensively here because they get a large defense increase in slot 1. But again, I think that orb healing that we just got is going to end up being more valuable than their extra defense. But I could be wrong. If we get super attacked in slot 2, then it's like, okay, I probably would have rather had the blue Goku and Vegeta there. But it's all relative, right? Like, you can't exactly predict what this guy is going to do. You just got to do what you think is the best decision at the moment and just go with it. Like this. We have a, chance to dodge here, and we do. So, yeah. I ended up making the correct decision, but we didn't know that until just now. I just had to take my instinct. I said, okay, he didn't super attack on turn 2. He's very likely to super attack at the beginning of this next turn right here. So, let's go ahead and put Goku and Vegeta in slot 1. He can dodge the super attack, which is fine. And then we can collect some orbs, drop down some int orbs, heal up a little bit with Vegeta and Trunks. They're going to be fine because they have type advantage. They're getting some attacks in here, and they have their active skill buff up. So, yeah, they're fine against it here in slot 2. And then Vegito Blue at the end just gets a ton of ki on his own, and then he has the 100% chance to dodge on his first turn in blue. So, it just all worked out for us, right? Now, here's the issue with this Cell fight. Hopefully Vegito Blue doesn't just go crazy with crits, because if he does, we're not going to get another rotation of Trunks. Okay, that's good, actually. So now we get Trunks' standby. So we can use this. So I am going to play it, but it's not really going to do much for us, and we'll talk about it a little bit after we get into the standby. Alright, so we have his standby out here. Now this, once you get this guy into his standby, I'm like, alright, listen, this guy, now he's cooking, right? You pop him open like this, and I'm like, okay, because in this form, he has the guard, he has 50% damage reduction, he has a ton of additionals, and he has, just like pretty high defense, and he is great once you get this guy into his standby mode. My concern with this guy was kind of like two things. One, it was how easy will it be to get this guy's standby in these new events? And the answer is it's not super easy. As you can see here, Cell is on his last bit of health here. He is going to heal up before we get to attack or anything, so that's, good, I guess. But it's like, you get to turn 5 in these fights, kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of the video with that STR Trunks. You get to here, and we're only here because Vegito Blue had a really bad turn with his additionals, and he just didn't blow this Cell away. There was a chance that we just ended that fight on turn 4. So no, I don't really like characters like that STR Trunks who are not good on turn 1 whenever fights are ending on turn 5 or on turn 4, and maybe you get to turn 5 with a sliver of health. Anyway, I'm talking about him too much. Let's go ahead and grab these orbs for Trunks. He's going to look great. I mean, he's going to finish this guy off. Another thing, too, about this Trunks is that he doesn't have any sort of, crit chance or super effective against all types in his passive. So if you want to give this guy crit, I get it. Because once you get this guy into his standby mode, this form right here, I think could be argued as, the best unit in the game. This is very, very powerful. Now, his actual attack, I found, doesn't do the most damage in the world, but just his additionals that he does on, turn 1, and, the defensive viability that he has, I think that is more valuable than his actual attack. The extra attack will just get you some nice damage, but then he reverts back into his base form, where he is no longer a slot 1 unit, so you have to put him in slot 2 again, but, he's okay. He's okay. So, but my Trunks is built with full dodge, with a secondary emphasis on additional, so I would have given him better, gold and silver equips here, but I really like using EX equips these days because I can just swap them out whenever I want. I think I have a really good gold equip that has, dodge and additional, or maybe it was, dodge and crit that I wanted to give him, but I was just like, man, I don't know. What if another character comes out that really wants it, and I can't use it, right? Because this is oh, what if I regret giving it to Trunks? Which, now after using Trunks, I don't think I would have regretted it, because Trunks is actually very good. He is growing on me, I will say that. I mean, 500k defense here, 50% damage reduction in guard. I mean, if you can get this guy's standby out, he's going to look fantastic, so. He is growing on me, though, because he's holding up a lot better in slot 2 than I thought he would, and he's shooting out some really high damage numbers, and if you get decent RNG with his additionals, I mean, he looks good defensively, at least against normals, so. He is growing on me. I do like this Trunks. I don't, he is definitely not a fumble. I know in my, 200% video, and I've been, kind of down on him, but that's the thing about Dokkan, right, is, characters can grow on you as you use them more. I mean, Trunks just finished off the fight here. He did a ton of damage, but, you know, that's the thing. A lot of times, it's like a character comes out and you're like, I don't know. It's like, you know, I was basing my initial opinion off of just that 55% level 1 Link's video where he was like, But, you know, after it's like, okay, we got him rainbowed, we're using him in these different events, and he is holding up. So, let me know what you guys think about Physical Trunks. I think he is pretty good. I think this guy, I think he's growing on a lot of people, too, as we actually get a chance to use him. I think a lot of people just saw some bait screenshots on Twitter, like on the initial release, and they were like, you know, not really sure about him. They sound like a fax machine. And now that he's actually out in game and people are using him, we're like, well, perhaps I was too harsh on you, right? Anyway, this guy, though, the jury's out on this guy still. We'll see, we'll see. Maybe he'll start to grow on me, too, but right now, you know, this guy's growing on me a lot faster than this guy is. This guy is not growing, we'll say that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to catch you guys next time.